Hi everyone, welcome to Willow's Whimsy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Oh my gosh, I was reminded this morning about why I don't do this as often as I would like to. What a nightmare getting this all set up. And I'm looking in the monitor and I look very vampirish, very pale, in spite of trying to put on a ton of makeup. This is my series, Neecie's Journey to Better Health. Health meaning spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. And I haven't been on for 2 weeks, so I said this wasn't going to be a recovery channel, and it's not. I do have my series, like my story of addiction, and I did the 12 steps and blah, 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 with both NA and AA. I'm not doing 12-step recovery. I went to one meeting and I realized that maybe you shouldn't make a judgment based on one meeting. It wasn't a bad meeting though. That's the thing. It was recovery, and that part felt good, but the 12 steps, they were my original foundation of this journey that I've been on with recovery, right? And I will never poo-poo them. For me, it's very, very difficult to sit in meetings and go over the same things and the same steps and the same traditions and principles. And I have always said that for me, I am so much more than an addict. I'm a mom, I'm an employee, I'm a daughter, I'm a granddaughter, I'm an auntie, I'm a friend, I'm a creator. Like, I am all these things. Yeah, I'm an addict. It's one thing of many. And I really believe that a lot of it is what you put your energy into. And I do think that trauma, especially childhood trauma, is a huge part of addiction, And I have been in therapy over the years and never followed through. And when I say trauma, understand that trauma is subjective, because I used to think my story was so unique and oh my God, what I went through. But the one thing, well, there's so much about the 12 steps that helped me, but being in speaker meetings especially, and hearing the stories of others made me realize that we all go through shit. And people who go through stuff that I never went through and who are willing to share those things openly, that's what made me realize, there's always someone who's had it worse. And while my story is personal to me and it hurt me, I see other people who have went through things I can't imagine. I was never sexually abused, and you will hear stories with that as a part of the childhood from all of it's unimaginable, but the levels the things that some of these people experienced, whoa. But they recover and they lose the shame and they put the trauma behind them and they go on, right? That's what I want to do. My issues mainly, are abandonment. And it's something that I've created over and over in my life. And also because of the abandonment, in my mind as a kid, that registered as I'm not worthy and I'm unlovable and I don't matter and I'm not a priority. And so when you believe those things about yourself and you internalize them, that's what you live out. People ask me all the time, so it used to be, when I lost all my weight originally in 2003 to 2004, I wanted to snag me a man. The problem is that because all that damage was not healed, I picked the same man over and over and over. He may look physically different from the last one, just assholes. self-absorbed, abusive, not so much physical. I've been very lucky that way, but verbally and just stupid. And when I've been involved with other addicts, they are atrocious and embarrassing and just horrendous. And, it's not a judgment when people are active or in their cups, as they say. It's ugly, it's ugly. And I'm no walk in the park either. On Tuesday, so when you have a dry date, you don't count it as the last time you used. You count it as the day after. So the first day of total sobriety. So for me, that was Tuesday, the 2nd of August. So this coming Tuesday, I'll have 3 weeks. It's Saturday. And the biggest thing for me, I'm over like the physical crash of the whole thing. So I feel like I'm okay physically, like I lived through it. I'm kind of surprised I did, to be perfectly honest with you. It's the shame. It's so much more socially acceptable to say I'm an alcoholic as opposed to I'm an addict, because there's a whole slew of assumptions that go with saying I'm an addict. And I know that therapy will help me deal with that. I just want to say the outpouring of love and support and people coming to my home to go on walks with me and to spend time FaceTiming with me and just reaching out with messages of love is so amazing. I have people in recovery in my life that I've known from the times I was in recovery before, and I have a lot of what you call normies. And I have always kept my addiction completely separate from that part of my life, because the bigger part of my life has always been normalcy, having a job, going to work, taking care of my kids, my daughter says, providing them with as much of a normal childhood as I could, given my situation. I was never a habitual user. I've never been someone who lived on the streets, and I'm not knocking people, that's where addiction took them. I had different circumstances, but I never used on a daily basis either. I go on these benders, and what I become, the minute I put that stuff in my body, it's not human. It's not me, and I don't behave like a normal human being. I let everything go, my hygiene, my willingness to, it's just total self-centeredness, more, right? And that's not how the majority of my life goes. I am not that person. And so it's walking through the shame of that. I don't care, that I'm an addict. I don't have shame about that I am one. It's that I did it again, Like I said in my video 2 weeks ago, I think there have been about 5 times since last August. And I did find out that, so the person I was with a year ago, when I relapsed after 3.5 years clean, he was the brother of someone that I would go to, prior to that 3.5 years of sobriety, and he passed away. And so, I felt safe with this person. He was a character, both him and his brother, and I found out he died on this last relapse I had. It's sad. People don't live long, So I'm okay. But I don't want this to happen again. I don't ever want to be in that situation again. I love my friends. I love my life. I love my job. I love being a productive member of society. I love, my relationship with my family. They have been wonderful through all of this. And so understanding and just full of love and forgiveness, you know. And that's what's been surrounding me, is love. So what I'm trying to focus on is believing that I'm worthy of that love and going from a place of love in my own heart. And so I'm just focusing on those people that are building me up and practicing gratitude for them. Yeah, I think that's probably all I'll say about that. Because this is not going to be a recovery channel, like I said, I may do a Neecie's Many Musings from time to time, you know, on that, or check in when I do these videos, because I had kind of a set schedule, and that was part of my OCD, you guys, and I'm trying not to ritualize anything, trying to get very out of OCD type behaviors, but I may talk about different things from time to time with that. We'll see, you know. So I couldn't get into a therapist. I have an appointment, but there's a big backup, you know, with COVID and everything that happened there, and not being able to have one-on-ones, because I had the option of starting earlier with like video, you know, type appointments. I don't want that. I want one-on-one. I want to be in the room with the therapist. And so I can't go until September, second week in September. So I may talk, I'll talk about that process, because that process is not going to be about addiction. It's going to be about healing the trauma. So we'll talk about that. Just want to touch very quickly on some other things. So you know that there's been weight loss. I hit the 30-pound mark. And once again, I way back, I was talking about how every 10 pounds I was going to give myself, you know, a reward. And I forgot to wear the ring again. I got this beautiful ring. Well, I hit the 30-pound mark, and I want to get a matching bracelet. So I'm going to do that, but I can't do that now. I'm going to talk about my finances tomorrow in my vision list update. And we'll go into a lot of things with that one. And let's see. Yeah, so weight loss. There's so much, because there's so much that was going on prior, and there's stuff that's still affecting me now. So like sleeping, and am I getting a good night's sleep? I'm someone who, my goal was to go to bed at 9 every night and get up at 6. That is 9 hours in bed, but because I don't always sleep, you know, the best, I want 7 hours of actual sleep, and it takes me about 8 to 9 hours to get that, right? So it's hit or miss. I pick my daughter up from work, usually when she works. Sometimes if she's going to stay at her boyfriend's, he picks her up. So I have to adjust. Now, it's not ridiculously late, so I can adjust in the morning. One big thing I did for myself was, instead of working 7 to 3, I work 9 to 5 now. I hate working until 5 p.m. I despise it. But the thing is, my OCD, my anxiety in the mornings is horrendous, and it's too hard. I want to meditate, go on a walk, do 10 to 15 minutes of yoga. I want to shower in the morning. I don't wear makeup at all, except when I do this, or when I go out for an event. And I want to start wearing just a little bit to feel better about myself. And so I want time to do all this, right? And because my OCD and all the things, the rituals I have keep me, it takes longer. I took off my Fitbit. I'm not paying attention to my steps. I'm not paying attention to how much actual sleep I get. That was part of my OCD and my ritualizing of things. Took it off. It's gone. I stopped. Now, I am making lists, but I stopped the insane list making. And I kind of have it in my head what needs to be done. If there's really important things like, oh, you got to pay this bill, or this needs to be mailed by this date, then I will write it down and I'll put a reminder in my phone. But the insane list making has stopped, and it's been an adjustment, but it's been better. I'm sleeping better. We're going to talk about sleep specifically. How about if I just hit that in my Niece's Many Musings this week? Because it kind of, what's the word? Piggybacks on the addiction thing. So I want to be completely forthcoming. So we'll talk about that in Niece's Many Musings. I am going to do one this week. I will do it on sleep. Okay, so sleep has been better. Let's see, weight loss. I keep putting off joining the gym because of my finances. I am just gonna suck it up, and Monday morning, I'm gonna go in and join the gym. This has to start. So I haven't gained any weight. My goal was 2.5 pounds this week. I only lost 1 pound, but you know what? I don't care. It's 1 pound. I am over the 30-pound weight loss mark. I'm at 31. I'm fine with that. And I do want to set a goal. By September 11th, I wanted to be down to the 40-pound mark. And that is, at this point, that's 9 pounds. And I will have to go hard to do that. So I'm going to go hard. And we'll see what happens, you know? We'll just see what happens. And I got to start the exercise piece because I'm so good at procrastination and excuse making, and I'm tired. The worst, hardest part of my day is after work. I'm trying to eat dinner before I'm done with work so that I don't go up in my room and sit down and put Netflix on, because that's what I want to do. But what I need to do is get my ass up and go to the gym and work out. If that's all I do in the evening, plus like taking my evening shower and doing my evening skincare routine, it's still better than sitting my ass down and doing nothing. And I want the weight loss to continue. So I think I'm going to stop there. I think I covered enough in this one. So thank you so much for watching. I know it got a little long. When you stick with me, I appreciate that so much. If you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, I would love that. Comments are monitored, so if you leave one, you might be able to see it, but no one else can until I approve it. My channel is not big enough where that takes up a lot of time, and there are people from my past who I think are watching and are aware of my channel, and I really don't want anything to do with those people. And so if there were a comment to be made, that's not appropriate, and that comment, you know, I wouldn't approve it. It wouldn't show up. So we'll talk about that, but we'll talk about that later down the line. The people, you know. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.